My man Rio Robinson from the Rock Rambling with Rio is on. When the man calls and said, "Hey, let's do something. I want to talk about it," I said, "Hey, say no more." So here we are with my man Rio. What's happening, fam?
What's going on, man? We're about a week away from free agency. Things are getting real, and just churning out this content, man. How you doing?
So I'm living, man. Just I'm waiting for this free agency to start, so we can see a whole big nothing. That's what I think. I think this is another year where we sized ourselves up for quarterback action, and there will be none.
Yeah, that's the reality that we live in here as Washington fans. But I do like the fact that we are aggressively pursuing it, though. I love it.
I do too, and the notion that they haven't been aggressive since Ron's been here, I think is unfair. Other than not moving up in the draft, which I was on this show and many others, hoping that we would have moved up for Fields last year. That first round pick that the Bears gave away, you'd be dying to give that pick away right now.
Absolutely, and we've been swinging. We were in talks for Fields. We tried to get Stafford. We tried to get Goff. Like, we've been swinging. We already put in an aggressive offer for Russ, which I'm sure we were going to get into. I wouldn't necessarily close the door on it yet because that probably starts conversation. But they're definitely trying, and they definitely know what we have on the roster is not going to get it done.
It's also a reminder that you either have a quarterback or you don't have a quarterback. And for those that have a quarterback, we always assume that they're just going to let him leave.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, why would, if you have a quarterback, I don't understand. Like, why would the Raiders be interested in moving on from Derek Carr?
Yeah, I don't even entertain any Derek Carr conversations. Like, Josh McDaniels coming into Vegas for, like, what the hell is he replacing Derek Carr with? Like, why would anyone assume he's available?
Right, and they do, and he's not, and it's why you can throw all kind of stuff at Seattle. Why on earth would a 74-year-old head coach be interested in hitting the reset button? I don't see it.
I forget Pete Carroll's that old because he's so full of energy. Like, he runs around more than any other coach. He's taking great care of himself. But
I don't know what's in that bubble gum.
Yeah, I know. He got something special in there that keeps the juices flowing. We're gonna, like, I don't know, man, but that's why the only available quarterback is the polarizing one. He's the only actually available guy.
Sort of.
Yeah, exactly. Sort of. But, like, he's available, though. Like, they have to trade him because if they don't get him off the book, if Watson's not off the books by the 22nd, his whole $37 million salary is guaranteed for the year.
By when?
The 22nd of March.
And it's what now? The
$37 million salary. We're gonna pay him $37 million to watch football. Like, I mean,
and they've already paid him a year to watch football.
Yep, but last year though, it was before the contract kicked in. Like, his extension kicks in this year, and that's a lot of money, man. I don't know.
So what does it look like? What is the trade package that you're willing to send for Watson, not knowing whether he's actually going to play next year?
Oh, so you meant, like, see, what I think should be taking place right now, like, the framework and parameters of a deal, you could pretty much do what the Dolphins did last year. Have a deal done right now pending the criminal investigation, which could be wrapped up. Could, in quotes. Rusty Hardin said it could be wrapped up by April 1st. Have a deal ready. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, 3 1s, 2 2s, and a player. Take it.
Who's the player?
Anyone outside of Chase, Terry, and Jonathan Allen.
You wouldn't trade Chase Young for Deshaun Watson?
I would trade Chase Young for Deshaun Watson. That's a controversial take. That's a controversial take. I love Chase Young. I think Chase Young's going to be great. If he was the deal breaker on a Deshaun Watson trade, I would throw him in. But I just think the 3 guys that you build your team around and bring in those three to market the branding of your new name, it would be odd to trade them after they were just the face of your rebrand. It would be odd as hell. But anybody else,
but you would do it if the rebrand was a fully vindicated Deshaun Watson or a Russell Wilson. Chris Williams was on this show Friday, said he'd give up 3 1s, 2 2s, and Chase Young for Russell Wilson.
If I'm giving up Chase Young, you could take one of them ones back off of there because Chase Young is a first round pick in itself.
But if that's what it took, but if that's what it takes.
Oh yeah, if that's the cherry on top, then I'm with it. But you know what I'm saying? I would try not to because I still think Chase is going to be really good. But Deshaun Watson's different though. Deshaun Watson.
That's not a knock on Chase.
Yeah, it's not a knock on Chase. Deshaun is. People forget how nasty Deshaun was. Deshaun was out here outdueling Josh Allen and going toe-to-toe with Mahomes in playoff games. Like, people forgot because we didn't see him for a year. So it's recency bias. But this is a top-notch quarterback.
You give up the 3 1s. Let's say it's 3 1s and a 2 for and let's just say it's Daron Payne instead for the Houston Texans. Are you willing to do that knowing he sits the first 8 games of the season?
Absolutely. Taylor Heineke can go have a goddamn blast. Taylor can go have a blast for 2 months. Yo, go have at it, guy.
The problem is, and I don't know how closely you were watching Twitter before we got started here today, but as soon as Aaron Rodgers gets the deal, sure, then every Denver fan's like, all right, now it's on to Wilson and Watson. And unfortunately, if you don't have a quarterback, like half the teams in the league now have positioned themselves to Wilson or Watson.
Absolutely. I think Houston would prefer to send him to the NFC, though, even though I'm sure they're just trying to wipe their hands clean of the situation. I actually think that for Watson, the 3 teams I think that it's going to be between us, Philly, and Carolina. Carolina's desperate. Matt Rule's going to get fired if they don't win this year.
He is. The net stuns me because I thought he was a really good hire.
Me too. It started off right. Oh, look what they're doing. They're changing their ways. They're drafting all defensive players despite the coach being an offensive mind. It's not working out. It's not working out.
It goes to show you it never works out. And that's why the guys don't ever – we always think, oh, we'll see the next college coach jump. Yeah. That's why they never jump, man, because it never works. Mm-hmm. You're not giving up a first-round pick for Christian McCaffrey, are you?
Hell no. Like that. First of all, I don't even believe
that's the thing. Yes.
Man. Are we in on that?
No.
I hope not.
I mean, you know what's going to happen. They're
going to link us here.
Absolutely. But I don't see it happening. They're not going to – I firmly believe they won't land any of these quarterbacks. I mean, I hate to be, the purveyor of gloom. But so that – and I'm not sure they're drafting at quarterback at 11 either. I have now worked myself into this theory where it's like Desmond Ridder in the second. Or a trade back into the first if you think – because you know how this works for quarterbacks.
5-year contract.
Well, and they're going to move too. There's always more that go in the first round than we think there will be.
Yeah, because the thirst for quarterbacks, and once you miss in free agency or your trade acquisitions, you know what I'm saying? Like, by the time we get to the draft, Pickett and Willis are both going to be, like, in the top 10 to 12 area. And
it feels like it.
Yeah, it's definitely. And those are the 2 quarterbacks I would prefer us to take in this draft. Other than those 2, Ridder. I'm not really messing with too many other quarterbacks in this class, but I would hope we would take one of those 2 guys at 11 if we don't land a big fish. I just don't see the value. It's such a lateral move to go sign a Mitch Trubisky. Like it's so like he's taller, a little bit more juiced up Heineke. Like what are we gaining by that?
Well, and again, all of a sudden now half the teams in the league are back in on Trubisky or Garoppolo or Mariota. I mean, this is what happens when the dominoes don't actually fall and the QB carousel is broken, don't actually start to move. Then all these teams are back in on the same one. That's why I am at the point now where I think you just have to draft one.
Yeah, you got to, because like, come on, we're going into a rebrand. Like, we're going into the rebrand with Mitch Trubisky. Like, what are we doing? We need to instill some some hope within the fan base. What hope are we getting out of mid-tier ass Mitchell Trubisky? Like, what do people really expect him to be? Oh, he's set for a year behind Josh Allen. Oh my God, he's gonna come back and be this great top-tier court. No. Like, I don't know what we're doing.
I popped this one up here because Eric Edholm of Yahoo said that one of 4 or 5 teams that did a lot of work on Jordan Love before that draft was Rivera and the Commanders. So that, to me, made this feel a little bit more realistic than just, oh, here's another quarterback name. Are you interested in giving up assets for Jordan Love, who still has 3 years left on his rookie deal?
I'll give them a bag of chips and the old crest with the wrong dates on it, because we don't even know if Jordan Love can play football. The 2 times we've seen him in games, he looked absolutely petrified and lost, and we've heard nothing. We've heard nothing out of Green Bay that shows that he could be anything. There's been no belief in the guy, and they traded up to take him with Rodgers on the roster. He said, I'd take Rio over Jordan. Shout out to you, Daniel. We've accomplished the same in this league.
That's right. Somebody tweeted today, and I thought it was funny. Jordan Love still great first-round pick if it got aired pissed off and into MVP mode. Because people forget he was not playing well when they drafted Jordan Love.
Yeah,
there was a coaching change, and he had some off years, and he was
off years on Rodgers' standard.
He was MVP of the league.
Yeah, his off years would be elite here.
Well, yes, well, we judge on a curve here.
We definitely do great on the curve here.
If they draft quarterback at 11, no matter who they draft at 11, do you want them to start right away?
It depends. Who do we sign in the offseason? Did we bring in a bridge, or are we going to let them compete with Taylor? I'm all for just, like, I think Ron has a long leash here, like minimum 6-7 years here, because
I do too.
He's more than a head coach here. He has full autonomy of the entire franchise. His fingerprints have been on the entire rebrand, and he brings a level of stability and respectability league-wide that Daniel Snyder needs. So I feel like if we brought a rookie in, let him go start and take his lumps and let him go learn from it. I think we have a good enough team around him that a talented rookie could actually get more wins than we'd expect here. And based on what I saw from Taylor Heineke last year, like, I think a high upside rookie with more talent could do more with what we have on the field than what Taylor Heineke showed us last year. I would start him.
I'm 100% with you on that. I don't understand why you don't. I mean, he's got to be just horrible. And then if he is, why did you select him at 11?
Oh, yeah. He would have to look like Haskins for me to not play them and start him off rip.
How people were so mad that they ran Haskins out of town, and he must just be awful, because you don't even hear the Steelers mention Haskins in the plan. It's adding in terrible.
He's terrible on the field. He doesn't put the work in. He's an idiot. Like, he got a raw deal. No, he gave himself a raw deal. Everybody that wanted to be mad at Jay Gruden for all the stuff coming out about Haskins, it all turned out to be true. He was there to be a celebrity. He wanted to be a celebrity more so than to be a great quarterback. Dude showed up casually late to film sessions. Like, quarterbacks have to want to be great. That's why it's absolute utter blasphemy when I see his name and Malik Willis's name in the same sentence. Like, just because they're black quarterbacks,
that's right. It's lazy.
I mean, they have anything in common. They have nothing.
It's lazy. No, they do not. And it's unfortunate, too, because I talked to Quincy Avery, the quarterback coach, who said Haskins had the greatest tool bag that he'd ever seen of any quarterback. Mm-hmm. Just couldn't put it together. They got to upgrade receiver. You agree with that in the offseason? They're talking about taking another big swings. Everywhere, big swings. They got to take a big swing at middle linebacker. Ron said they got to take a big swing at wide receiver. They got to take a big swing at quarterback. But I agree. They should. They tried to take a big swing for Amari last year or 2 years ago, whatever it was. And he turned the money down. Are you interested? Are you interested in Amari now?
Yeah, why not? Well, Terry needs a running mate, man. We have to act as if Curtis Samuel's not on the roster, even though he's gonna have a $13 million cap hit this year. Like, we have to act as if he's not on the roster, and if he is, he's gonna be in the slot and used as a Swiss Army knife. Terry needs a competent receiver on the other side. You get Amari Cooper, Allen Robinson. We have 2 number ones. I don't see why you don't.
Or Mike Williams.
Yeah, or Mike Williams. Is he going to get tagged? He might get tagged. There's a couple hours left, right?
Yes, 4:00 today, right?
Yeah, I think he might get tagged, man. But I
They
would
might
take
have-
a shot.
There's 2 though, right? Because I think they were talking about for the Chargers, they may have to tag the
Derwin
James.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's interesting. Yeah.
Well, no, they give him the 5th-year option because he came in the same year as Duran, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He did.
So he must have. So he got his 5th year, and he's got an extra year. So must be Mike Williams. They signed me. Maybe they will. I don't know if you tag. They're going to have to. I bet you that's the route they end up having to go for Terry.
Yeah. I don't know. I think they might get Terry done. Terry should wait on it though. If I was Terry,
I would say this is what I've been telling people. Why on earth would unless he's just like, listen, I ain't made a whole lot of money, and I like it here, and I'm part of the rebrand, and I just want to stay. But no competent agent should be telling him to sign before any of the guys from his class, certainly any of these big ones right here. But why would he sign behind Debo or Metcalf or
Devontae or any of these dudes? Let the receiver market set itself and let your damn franchise get a quarterback to throw you the ball. Like, weigh your options, bro. You just, like, honestly, if we keeping it a buck, Terry deserves better than here, bro. He's played 2 quarterbacks in 3 years.
That's the whole damn team then. And us as fans, we deserve better.
Like, we haven't even seen what his full capabilities are because we haven't had anyone that can consistently get him the ball yet.
Now, that is a fact, and it's unbelievable.
Like, we don't even know what he's capable of. Like, he could be capable of 1,500 yard seasons, and he hasn't had a chance to,
Yes. So the only way I can say, I was talking to somebody about this the other day. The only way I can see them wrapping this thing up, they got to go to Terry's agent and say, listen, we'll 5 years, $22 million. Like, if they want Terry to stay, if they want to get the deal done right now, then they should reset the market with Terry right now. Make him the highest paid receiver in the league.
I see my guy Corey, the legend, Corey Sanchez on the warpath. What's going on, my guy?
That is my guy. Would you make him the highest paid receiver in the league to get the deal done?
Terry?
Yep.
No. I'd give him a great contract. Like, I'd give him like 5 for 100, 5 for 105, and call it a day. 5 years, $105 million, call it a day. Give him a good guarantee. Like, that money hits different when you're coming off a 3rd round contract, making like $800.
That's right.
800.
And it's important. It's important to say that because I think that gets lost sometimes. That he was of the group that we talked about that's getting ready to get paid again. I think he's the lowest drafted, right? I mean, the rest of these guys are 1st and 2nd rounders that came out that year. Metcalf was a 2nd rounder, right?
Yep. So their money is different than his. Like, going from $800,000 a year to about $20 million a year. I would personally sign that contract. Also, because I mean, he's just a humble, good team guy. Like, you know,
yes.
Like me, I'm I'm trying to get my money, but Terry's a good dude, man. But he should definitely wait on it, though. I wouldn't rush to sign a contract if I was him.
And the people that keep saying you don't know Terry, he's going to do it. Okay, you don't know Terry either, most likely.
None of us know Terry.
That's right. So I don't know what it is. I just know that he has no business signing the contract this year. And I'm a fan. I want him to. I just don't see why I would. If I said to you outside of middle linebacker and quarterback that the cornerback is the worst off position group on the team, and therefore I would consider taking cornerback at 11.
I would consider taking cornerback at 11. Like, we also need to upgrade it. We need a real free safety opposite Cam Curl. Like, we got to get a free safety. I mean, Bobby McCain was cool last year. I think his stats
he'll be back.
Yeah, I think his stats are a little inflated, but I see him more as a situational guy rather than your starting. Like, if we're gonna take a big swing at somebody, do we give Marcus Williams a call?
I would.
Yeah, because Jesse Bates got tagged, who's like a dream option at free safety, and
he was never getting out of there.
Does Kyle Hamilton fall because he ran a bad 40? Like, I don't think he does. I still think he goes top 6. But I would definitely consider Stingley or Sauce Gardner at 11 if we somehow get the quarterback position situated without having to use the 11 pick in the process. But I think that I'd say corner. We need a number one corner. We don't have a number one corner. We're paying William Jackson number one corner money, but we're not using him like one.
And not just that, but who plays the slot? More and more the slot is one of the most important positions on the field. Mm-hmm. We thought it was so amazing to me. As I look back on this season last year, I was so excited when they had Juice moved outside and they had Fuller inside. Fuller inside. And we just assumed that was going to be how it worked. And Fuller was awful. Yeah, and I don't know what happened.
Part of the season.
They moved him outside and he played great.
Yep.
That's still our problem. Danny Johnson is not who we need. If Danny Johnson is the starting corner if nickel going into the season again, problems.
Danny Johnson is an August legend, though. He's a training camp in August.
I like Danny. I don't want him as a starting nickel next year.
Facts.
And we don't have one.
Yeah, we do not. So corner's a big position too. There are other holes on the team. It's just the one that's magnified is the one that's ultimately gonna decide our fate, and that's the quarterback position, man.
It is, and it's why I think they end up just having to take it 11, because I always like the idea of trying to get one in the second or trading back up in the first. But as Nate Coleman tells me all the time, if he's good enough to draft him, like if that's the guy who you think is the guy, that's right. You got to take him. So before we wrap this one up today, who is that guy for you? Do you have a preference at 11 for quarterback?
Malik Willis. I'm betting on the traits. I'm betting on the tools. I'm betting on the mental makeup. Like, the dude is intelligent for days. He has the personality and charisma to ignite a fan base and a franchise. And I'm betting on the guy who's capable of things like the great quarterbacks that I see in today's game. I like Kenny Pickett, but I think Malik Willis is the only quarterback in this class that has the potential to be a bona fide superstar.
Were you surprised that Pickett ran a 4.67?
No, because he's athletic. He's when you watch him, like, he's not taking off all the time. Like, he takes off more than he needs to sometimes, but he can move. Like, his athleticism, I'd compare it to Joe Burrow. Like, he moves like Joe Burrow. Like, he moves enough to always be able to manipulate in the pocket and the rush when he needs to. You know what I'm saying? He can move just as much as the Allens and Mahomes of the world.
That's why he intrigues me. I don't think you can. The league is not set up to not have a guy like that.
Oh yeah, for sure. And the little hands don't bother you. I'm so tired of talking about hand size.
I am too. He played in Pittsburgh, in a pro stadium, so I don't think that it's going to matter too much there.
I think they're going to take him at 6.
I think it will be. Say that again. No,
I think the Panthers may take Pickett at 6.
I do too. There's a couple. Panthers need a quarterback. Denver still needs a quarterback. Although maybe they feel like any of these guys aren't that much of an upgrade over Locke. I liked Locke. Have you been surprised he's not been good? That was Jay Gruden's guy.
Is Locke a free agent? Locke's a free agent, right?
No, I think he's got 1 year left.
1 year left. I thought Locke was going to be better.
He's in the same year as Daniel Jones and Haskins.
Yeah, I thought Locke was going to be better than this. Like, he's been disappointing as well. I'm good on that. I'm good on retreads who failed in their first location, man. Like, I'm gonna take a hard pass on that. I hate to even say this, but like, if we're gonna get one of these middling quarterbacks, give me Wentz or Garoppolo. I don't want either of them. I don't want any parts of either. Shoot your shot at Deshaun Watson and keep talking to Seattle. Make Seattle negotiate, because you threw out one offer to them. It's their first offer. We don't know who leaked the offer. We haven't seen the official offer yet. That starts the conversation. Continue.
Oh, Ron leaks that so that the world knows. I told you I'm swinging big, and we're swinging big, and I'm trying here.
Oh, yeah.
The problem is I've been told a couple of times now that they're not dealing Wilson.
And Russ is too damn diplomatic to come out and say, trade me here.
I've said that a couple of times. That's what it would take. It would take wherever it is, whether it's here, whether it's Denver. And again, you mentioned it earlier. I'm sure that Seattle would love to trade him to an AFC team. Same thing with Watson. I'm sure they would rather get him out of the AFC to the NFC. Again, for whatever it's worth, Wilson to me seems like 15%. And frankly, Watson feels like 30%.
Go all in on Watson, bro. If we're smart, we've had someone doing due diligence on the situation. We know that he's going to get cleared of criminal charges, and a deal is already being worked out and put on hold with an asterisk until those criminal charges drop, and then we pounce because they got to get his numbers off the books. And Lovie Smith wants to get Deshaun out of there as soon as possible. They want to move on. I'm sure Deshaun wants to move on too. And why wouldn't we be an attractive destination? You know what I'm saying?
I think we would. The only problem is that there are teams like Philly
with so much compensation.
They give you 3 this year. Mm-hmm. And I want to clear this up real quick before we wrap too, because I said something and somebody cleared it up for me, and I don't mind admitting when I'm wrong. I thought you could only offer 3 first-round picks. You could only offer 3 first-round picks into the future. So, like a team like the Eagles could give up 6 first-round picks.
That's crazy.
because they have 3 this year or 5, whatever the numbers are, and we just don't have it. And that's the only thing for the Watson crowd. And again, I frankly don't know why Philly wouldn't just stick with Hurts and add 3 first-round picks to the mix.
I hope they do.
But to your point, I think we forget how good Watson was.
Watson is disgusting. Like, he's a top 4 or 5 quarterback when you get him. That he's a franchise-altering player. Like, I posted a video about Watson yesterday, and a lot of Houston fans were in the comments like, yo, if y'all get him, please take care of him. He was like Michael Jordan to us. Like, they were like, watching him play was an absolute gift, and they hate to see how this situation is playing out.
Which is odd because his former head coach there at Clemson compared him to Michael Jordan and whatever. And that's why the whole thing has been so shocking, right? Because before, up until whatever this was,
flawless character,
it felt like he was one of the cleaner guys in the league, building homes for needy families in the whole nine. So
humble dudes, humble, likable guys in the league. He asked for a trade, and all of a sudden, the whole world came crumbling down. All these allegations come out the cut, and it's still odd the timing of the allegations and the fact that Tony Busby, the attorney for all the accusers, is the neighbor, friend, and associate of Cal McNair. That's all odd.
It's all odd. It's odd with all of it.
Yeah, everything. Like, everything is weird, man.
They suspended my man a whole year for some parlays.
Oh my God, Calvin Ridley. trade a conditional.
My man just wanted a place of 5-leg parlays. All
he was. I wasn't playing, man. I can't bet on the games I'm not playing it. Would you trade for him?
No, that's that same bag of chips you were giving up for Jordan Love. I'll send them for Captain Parlay.
Oh man, that's
Rio, you're the best, man. Tell the folks where they can find you, what you got coming up this week.
Absolutely. Rio_Robinson91 on Twitter. Rambling with Rio YouTube channel. That's the logo. You can see it back on my backdrop right here. I got my group pod coming up with my boys Tay and Todd, Jalen, Alex, and my guy Zach. And yeah, man, we're ready to see some moves being made. Rodgers got his bag, so it's time to actually start seeing people be tampered with and signing.
Tampering.
I'm ready to see us.
Wednesday next week, right? Is the official kickoff?
I think Monday.
Was it Monday?
Yeah, Monday, the tampering period. Monday through Wednesday is the tampering period next week.
So. Oh, yeah. But Wednesday is actual first day of free agency, right?
Mm-hmm. League year. Yeah.
All right. Ray, you're the best, man. Thanks for hopping on today.
Appreciate you, buddy. Have a good one, Doug.
All right. Thanks, Rio.